From the moment he walked on stage as the music director of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, Maestro Riccardo Muti has been trying to teach us how to listen.
This is a sort of mission that bringing it around the world.
The legendary conductor says the art of active listening is fading as we become distracted by devices and separated by smartphones.
People, generally, especially the new generation, they spend most of the time watching things and not thinking. And I'm very depressed when I go in a restaurant to see the father, the mother, and two children, all four with the telephone. There is no communication. They don't think anymore, and can be a big danger for the future.
But he says nothing focuses the mind and replenishes the spirit like music. If we're willing to listen.
Mankind will need to recuperate the real essential elements of the soul and of the spirit.
After 13 seasons at the helm of the world-renowned Chicago Symphony Orchestra, Muti will wave his baton one last time as music director in a free Concert for Chicago, a gift to the city at Millennium Park on Tuesday.
Music is a universal language that can bring all of us together.
The CSO's associate concertmaster, Stephanie Zhang, says Muti's infectious energy and magnetic presence on the podium will be missed. What is it that makes him special?
He just has this charisma that just naturally pulls in the orchestra to him.
Every time he steps on the podium, the 81-year-old who stands at roughly 5.5 feet tall suddenly towers with authority.
A lot of the impact of the music director comes from the presence on the podium and the kind of attention that he draws and even demands.
And soon, the eyebrow-raising mystery of how a single person making no sound can be responsible for the magnificent outpouring of music becomes clearer with each sweeping gesture. He is directing every detail.
When you move the arms, you don't move the arms to make a show. You should move the arms to keep the orchestra together, to give indications about dynamic, about tempo, expressions, but also about what you have in your brain.
He carries the history of classical music in his brain. It's a subject he has mastered over 6 decades, ever since he attended the 10-year conservatory in Naples, Italy.
A conductor should be somebody that has studied very, very, very seriously music.
When he reaches for the skies or crouches to the floor, the drama comes from his depth of knowledge.
Generally, conductors are more involved in making a show on the podium and less to make music. And the musicians of the orchestras are the ones that suffer more. The level of the orchestras is going up and the level of the conductors is going down.
Muti is the 10th music director in the CSO's 132-year history. He is known for his demanding style, intense rehearsals, and paternal instincts.
It's not enough to have a relationship with the musician just to say it's too loud, it's not too loud, it's sharp, it's flat. That is not enough. And that relationship is absolutely necessary to create good music between the musicians and their conductor.
His reputation attracted some of the finest musicians in the world to Chicago.
He's left his imprint on the orchestra in almost uncountable ways.
But Chicago also had an impact on him.
that Chicago is the most beautiful city in the United States. Every morning when I look through the window, I can enjoy the view of the Lake Michigan.
He led the CSO in a performance of Chelsea Dagger wearing a Jonathan Toews jersey during the Blackhawks' run to the Stanley Cup. He threw out the first pitch at Wrigley Field, delivered the commencement address at Northwestern University, and stood on the picket line with his musicians.
The entire world is listening to what happens in Chicago.
He spoke out against the war in Ukraine.
A message should arrive to all the people that not only in Ukraine but in the world are creating violence, hate, and a strange need for war. We are against all that.
He regularly brought the CSO to the community, from Southside churches to city and suburban schools. Each performance was conducted with the precision of an engineer and the passion of an educator, teaching a masterclass in music and in the importance of listening.
You must also be ready to listen.
In downtown Chicago, Mike Lowe, WGN News.